What is up? It is Dan. Welcome back to another episode of Guitar Talk. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, roll that intro. What's up everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Guitar Talk, and today I'm just going to start off by saying as well, not sponsored at all by Fender or anything like that. We paid for these with our own money. This is a review of the brand new Fender Player II Series Stratocaster. Checking out the specs at the body on this. This is an older body. You can get chambered ash and chambered mahogany as well, depending on what color you get. But in the playing clips, both the models that I've got here are older bodies. You've got a 3-ply scratch plate, 3 single coil pickups. They are Fender Player Series Alnico 5 pickups, 2-point trem, input, you've got volume, 2 tones, 5-way switch, pretty much everything that you're going to expect from a classic style Stratocaster on this. Checking out the specs at the neck on this, in my hands here we've got a maple fretboard, but they have also gone back to rosewood, which you'll see in some of the playing clips. It is a modern C-shaped profile satin maple neck with 22 frets, 25.5-inch scale, 9.5-inch radius, classic gear tuners, and the neck has got rolled fretboard edges as well. Sounds and tones on this are pretty much what you would expect from a classic Strat style guitar. The neck and middle pickup positions on this especially give huge, big, dynamic, vibrant tones. The bridge pickup is a little bit spiky, but still very usable. This will take you anywhere from classic clean tones, blues tones, funky tones, all that kind of stuff you would expect from a decent Strat. And you can push it all the way up into big crunch territory as well, and it handles it very, very well. Build quality on this, if you are a long-term viewer of the channel, you will know that, especially with modern Fenders, I have not been kind. There's been some QC issues over the last few years and all that kind of stuff, and it's refreshing to say we've got 3 or 4 of these out of the box so far, and all of them have been great. They've been built, put together very well. The necks are on nice and tight, nice and sturdy. There's no kind of loose necks in the neck pocket. The ends of the frets have been finished really well. It's just a definite improvement on the Fenders I've seen over the last few years. This feels like a very, very good quality instrument. So that is very refreshing to see. There's no kind of blemishes in the finish or anything like that. So yeah, definitely a cool one on these Player II models. Setup on this one straight out the box and on all of them. Now I want to be honest with you guys, because I pride myself in being honest in these videos. We're not sponsored by guitar companies or anything like that, so I can only speak on what comes out the box. And obviously I've tried like 3 of these and it's been a pretty similar story in all 3 of them. So to me there are some setup issues. I've stretched the strings in loads. I've checked the tuning loads in between all the clips where I was doing the little playing bits, and the bridge, when you get this up to standard, the bridge comes up too far. They haven't, in my opinion, set the tension right on any of the bridges of the ones that I've tried, so this comes up too far. which makes tuning a bit of a chore. But as well, there's too much relief in the neck, and the nut slots or the nut is cut too high. So especially when you're playing down here by the nut, if you play very, very lightly, it's in tune. So it's in tune perfectly when it's open. If you play very, very lightly, it's in tune. But as soon as you put any kind of real pressure on the strings, it very, very quickly goes sharp. Now, you might hear that in the playing clips. I may get comments of people saying, tune the guitar. It was in tune. So when you are playing, you're trying like out live and you're gigging and you want to try and put on a good show, the last thing you want to be doing is thinking about, man, I really want to make sure that I don't play the guitar too hard or put too much effort into it. I really hope that when I'm trying to get a good grip on the guitar to do some vibrato, that I don't push down too hard. You just kind of want to play it and know it's going to sound great and sound in tune. So obviously all very sortable things. If you know what you're doing, it's not going to take ages to sort out. But if you don't know what you're doing, then obviously you're going to have to pay for a setup. And on my opinion, a guitar at this price point, especially that says Fender on the headstock, you shouldn't be having to do that. And I know some of you will say, yeah, but if you don't want to sort that stuff out, then buy an American Fender. But, you know, guess what? I could buy a Chinese guitar and an Indonesian guitar and just not have that issue. So it is very much just a thing that I find with the guitars coming out of the Mexican factory. Yes, the build quality on this feels a lot better than in recent years. The rolled fretboard edges, the ends of the frets, it feels absolutely lovely. But the actual setup of the guitar itself and some of the fundamentals there still need some work. Would I play one of these live? And as usual, by that I mean, if you gave me one of these and I was going on tour for a year and you said, Dan, you can only play the Fender Player II Series Strat live and that's it for the next year, would I play these? Now, it is a very comfortable neck profile and I love the satin neck on this. The rolled fretboard edges make, to me, all the difference. It just feels like an instantly played in, comfortable Strat style guitar. And I guess not even Strat style because it's by Fender, so it just feels like an instantly lovely played in Strat. If the setup issues that I found on them so far were sorted and it was all set up lovely, which obviously I could do, then yes, I would have no problem playing these live. The pickups sound great. I said the bridge pickup is a little bit spiky for my liking, but I guess you could roll the tone off on the bridge a little bit, or just replace the pickup with something a little bit less bright. But in terms of playability and just a good feeling Strat, then yeah, I would have no problem playing this live and just know that it feels perfectly reliable and it's just going to last and just keep going. Is the guitar worth the money? Now, these in the UK are around the £700 mark you can pick these up for, and there's a couple of things to point out here. Is one, obviously, I've already said about the setup issues, which I do not expect on a £700 Fender guitar. I've said that before in Fender videos where I've reviewed Mexican Fender guitars, and that still stands today. Big improvement, but there's still a few issues there. But the other thing is that these don't come with any kind of gig bag or anything. And for one of the biggest, most recognizable guitar brands in the world, for a gig-worthy guitar that you would expect people to take this out and gig this with absolute pride, putting in a gig bag that's probably going to cost the company like £10 per gig bag, if that, to order in. And even if they have to put like £5–10 on top of the price to cover the fact that they give a gig bag away from this, like, to me, that's just an absolute must. And so it's a big letdown. I know Fender haven't given gig bags away with the Player Series for a few years now, but like, come on, it's a Fender. It's one of the biggest guitar brands in the world. It's £700. They should come with a gig bag or a case or anything. But yeah, is the guitar worth the money? Very cool guitar, plays very, very nicely. Is it a £700 guitar? Yeah, I guess it is. I guess it's worth £700, but opening the box up and finding that you spent that much money on a guitar and that you've got to do some setup work on it, and if you want to take it out and gig it, you've also then got to go buy a case. That to me is just, it puts a bit of a downer on the price. There you go. Is there anything that I don't like about the guitar? I've probably covered it all pretty much already. It's a lovely feeling guitar and everything, but obviously just the fact that it needs setup work when you get out of the box, and all three of them are kind of the same, and the fact it doesn't come with a gig bag. Other than that, the only thing I'd change is I'd just put a different bridge pickup in there that's not so bright sounding. But other than that, fantastic guitar. So there we go. I probably concentrated a little bit there too much on the fact they needed setup work. But you know, when you're reviewing a guitar, especially one straight out of the box and all that, if the guitar isn't set up very nicely, then you know you're going to mention it, because that, you know, you got to play the thing. So honestly, if you see one of these in the shops and you are at all curious, try one, because they feel great, and they, to me, are a big, it definitely feels like a big step up from the previous iteration of Player Series Strats. The rolled fretboard edges just feel very, very nice, and I love the fact that they brought back the rosewood fretboards as well, because the fretboards they were using, the Poe Farrow stuff, it just looked really dry and didn't look very visually appealing. It just looked really cheap. I know there were reasons behind it and all that stuff, but the return of the rosewood, just instantly you get out of the box, and a good old-fashioned slab dark rosewood fretboard just looks so much more appealing. But yeah, great guitar, feels fantastic. The pickups sound really, really good, so quite impressive to me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Have you tried one already? Yeah, let me know. And other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.